right here. Here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish. Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very, very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa, dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dum, dang. So it's all good. Howdy ho! Welcome on in. How are we going? Happy Friday in my part of the world. Happy Thursday if you're up in Northern Exposure country. How are we doing, Terry? Are you well? Good to see you. Putting on my Hank brew. Getting ready to do so. I've got some new wood to show you. I've got those caps in there. Beautiful. Some figured maple tops for those guitars that we're going to start making. So we've got an acoustic that's waiting on some jigs to be finished. We've got a purple Aurora waiting for some jigs to be finished. I'm going to put them on the back burner for about a week. So I'm going to get into this one, which is a new telly. Dealing with a cold, but good. Hey, so am I. I had a little head cold the last couple of days. I'm better now, but I think the bodies just get rid of toxins that we're just absorbing every day. That's all a cold is, really. So hopefully you feel better soon. Keep the water up, keep the electrolytes up, keep the good vitamins, nutrients up. Don't stress your body. Rest. All that good stuff. Leslie's in the house. Leslie, how are you doing? Okay, so let's see where we're up to. So we've got some stuff. We've got this neck. Okay, so we've got this neck, Queensland maple. Okay, we've marked that out. We might get a truss rod in there, a truss rod channel in there. We've got our body chambered on one side. Okay. There's our chamber, all complete. All right, so that's on this ash. Alder, sorry, not alder. Not ash, alder body. Doing it all. Excellent. Great. So what we're going to do is show you these tops that arrived. We're going to cap that with some tops. So let's have a look at those. Get to the workbench. But here's some maple tops that we're going to put down on this guy. Can you see that guy? So we've got a couple of figured tops. I'm going to get some spritz on there to show you the goodness. Because we always look at the goodness, don't we, Terry? These will get a colour. They'll get stained. We're going to put some really vibrant colours. We're going to go for blues. We're going to go for purples. We're going to go for reds and bright colours, but not in a way where the bright is washing out the wood. It's going to be like a watercolour type of effect. We want the wood to shine through. We just want a stain, a tint. So we're going to tint these heavily, if you like. let's get some spirits on this guy. Show you what we're looking at. Straight into it today. We're not mucking around. Hi, Elisa. Just in time for some luscious wood demonstration. Okay, figured maple. It's lots of rays, as you can see. There is some flame there, but lots of rays. Okay, when we colour that, that'll actually pop a little bit better. Let's have a look at this one. I like this one a lot. The last one is a Birdseye, which is really, really cool. You may not have seen a Birdseye, and I'll talk to you why it's called a Birdseye. So let's pop some spirits on this one. Ooh, this one's nice and flamey. Looky, looky, absolutely. So that's got some nice figure in there. That will pop once we put some colour in there. Interesting shades and what have you. And this is the Birdseye. And the Birdseye isn't flamed the same way. It's got little tiny Birdseye knots. You can see them, I think. Can you not? Can you not? See what I did there? The knots. Can you see the knots? Not? Let's pop some colour on there. You might be able to see them. There they are. Look at those little Birdseyes. That's beautiful. I'm going to use this one for this build. They look like little tiny knots everywhere, but they're just grain. So there's our Birdseye. Look at that. Okay, and that pops really, really nicely. So we're going to use one of those. That's the one I'm going to use for this build. I think I really like that. And I haven't done a Birdseye capped maple telly before, so I'm looking forward to that. This will be the bottom here. That's the top. We've got some good rays through the middle, but it's very consistent through there. So we're going to get a lot of figure and a lot of those Birdseye knots showing up. The other side's not as good. This side's a bit more symmetrical in the grain pattern. So we're good there. Ooh ah! Ooh ah! That's right. It's very, very ooh ah-ish, isn't it? Okay, so there they are. Okay, we've got our figured stuff. Okay. Right, there's our maple cap. Maple Birdseye. Rock maple Birdseye. That's the one I'm using. Look at that. It looks like a really bad case of chicken pox. That's what I would associate it to. The measles. It's the measles guitar. Used the Birdseye wood before, but I don't remember on what. No, I don't think I did. Not a Birdseye. Not a Birdseye. A multi-clamp Jenga. That's it. It's time for the Jenga clamps. Here's another nice maple cap with some flame in there that will pop once we stain and colour that. They're lovely caps. Anyway, back to it. We're going to get this guy fitted onto the body, but first we need to cut out this body. Show you what we've got. Oh, before I cut that out, of course, we're going to mark out where the pickups go. 2 humbuckers. They're P90, but they're humbucker-sized P90s. So we're going to use the humbucker-sized P90s on this guy. So I'm going to, I don't want to do them yet. We need to glue everything down before we do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically cut the shape of this guy up, and then we're going to glue the cap on top of it. So we're going to go soon to the saw room. I'll go and set that up, and then we're going to, maybe you dreamt it. I think you did. I think you're dreaming. Tell her she's dreaming. That's it. So I'm going to go into the other room, and we're going to set up that. That camera's ready to go. I just want to clear up the mess. Make sure we're on the right side. Camera on the right side of life. Pull that guy under here. Pop him over like so. That. Right, we're ready to go. Just make some room. I'm making some room. Making some room. Right, let's go. Switching over now. Into the room we go. Poof. There it is. The saw room. We're going to saw this guy. Saw this sucker. The lights on. Plug the right one in. Plug it in, Jeffrey. Who's Jeffrey, I might add? Let's clean up this mess. What song am I whistling, Terry? I have no idea what I've come up with, but it's another tune. Okay, are we ready to go? Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going in. You have used a Birdseye maple before, but I can't say in which guitar or where in it. I have a feeling it may have been a neck. Ooh. Maybe. Look, I really haven't used a Birdseye maple. As far as I know, it might have been Hank. Who knows? Who knows? It might have been Hank. Let's cut this out. You might be right, but God, I can't recall for the life of me. Anyway, are we ready? We're ready. funny. You're looking at the old. You're looking at the old commands. There we go, roughed out. Okay, now this is solid on this side. Why? Because we're putting a nice belly cut in there. Once we sand this, we're going to set up the sander now. We're going to sand this body pretty close, and then we're going to glue the cap on and set that. That's all we're going to do today. Actually, no, I'm going to work on the neck as well. So let's do that. We have to get the sander up here. So we're going to use, of course, this Birdseye cap. That's what's going. That Birdseye cap is going on that body. These guys away. Down there. Let's set up the bench. Hey, BTM, what's happening? What's going on? So there it is. I'll show you those. So that's what is that? Not ash. There's our maple birdseye. We've also got a couple of flamey radial sheets as well for different builds. This one here definitely on this telly. It's getting humbucker sized P90s. Older, that's it. Thank you for reminding me, Leslie. I've cut the piece off and my brain's not functioning. I've had a bit of a cold and my brain's a bit slow at the moment. Not that it's, slower than it usually is. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this printer. Oh man. I have med brain. That's it. That is the command that Dana just came up with, which is pretty good. Let's put the sander up here then, shall we? Shall we? Let's shall. Shall we? Let's shall. Put this down. Alley-oop. Sanders in place. Let's plug her in. I might just take the volume down a little bit. And Terry, I won't forget this time to bring it back up again. I know you could probably bet that I will forget, but let's not bet that I will forget. And let's assume that I will get it right and bring the sound back. I'm going to have the vacuum on as well, that's why I'm going to do that. So, let me get the vacuum, plug that in as well. For those about to route, we salute. That's a good one. I like that. Being an AC/DC fan, I do like that one. That is awesome. That is awesome. No, you're awesome. No, you're awesome. No, you're awesome. Who said that? You're awesome. No, you're awesome. Is that a Bill and Ted thing? No, you're awesome, dude. That's the question for today's. That's the question for today's poll. The poll is, who said, you're awesome, no, you're awesome? Oh, excellent, excellent. 1,000 and goals. That was the funny one. I remember when, I think it was Dana, she was like, she had accidentally eaten a pseudoephedrine sandwich. She was just tripping out and speeding like crazy, just coming up with commands every 2 minutes. It's like, I've got another one. I've got another one. Oh, and then there's this one. She went nuts. I remember that day. She spent about like 45 minutes just creating commands. Ha! Wayne and Garth, that's it. You're awesome. No, you're awesome. What a bunch of dicks. They were funny, weren't they? Oh, man. Okay, let me just quickly clean this up. I can't breathe too much. She's still got them. She's still got them, absolutely. Let me turn this down slightly. Ever so slightly. There we go. It's down to about 40%. But I'm not going to be talking much, so let me just back this up. on so Terry doesn't have kittens as well. Oh no, that's awful. Shit, not good. Okay. Shape. Pretty much done. Not bad. So there it is there. Okay, we've got our shape pretty much cut out. Okay, and now we can glue the cap on there and set that so that when we come back next stream, we can then route the cavities, the neck, pocket, everything else out. So we'll get that cut. Now this is going to get a rounded edge, a very fine rounded edge, and it's going to have faux binding. Faux binding is where I use acrylic paint and I tint the stripe that I cut into the edge. I've done it once before on a Strat. It looks really, really good. And the faux binding is just paint, and then what I'm going to do, of course, is burst that, and when I stain the rest of the cap, it'll actually show up beautifully. It'll fade over to a darker edge, which will look like a binding, but it's not a binding. It will be router time. It will be once we get this guy glued down. So I'm going to do that right now. Then we can worry about holes and things. And of course, once we've got the cap on there, we can come to the back here and start thinking about a nice tummy cut here and a nice sand and shape this guy, give it a little bit of a streamlined, sexy look. I'm not going for the sexy look. I just know that it's deemed as a nice sleek look. Takes the bulkiness out of Telecasters, makes it a little bit more playable, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm happy with that so far. Not too bad. Let's get the guy glued down. So let's get our cap. Let's mark it all out. I'm going to save some of this excess stuff because, of course, I don't want to waste some of these edges and corners because we can use them for things like, you know, for example, I'm going to use a piece of this for the pickup cavities at the back. The control cavity cover. So we're going to match that with the front. Let's put this guy, let's get a center line down this guy and measure him out. Are you happy that the volume is back up, Terry? Were you stressing that I would forget again? Yeah, the binding is, I've done it once before, Willie. I actually route the edges and then I mask it off and I actually paint the binding on and it looks like it's binding that's been bent over that corner. It actually turns out really good. So yeah, we're going to do that. Goid job, the goid, excellent. I'm good. I'm goid for a good goid. Let's get our pencil out. This guy here, let's sharpen that up. Sharpening it up. Measure our center lines. Mark our center line. Align it with our center. And that's why I left that overhang on the body itself. I left an overhang. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. There's our center. So we've got a bit of an overhang here. I might just move this camera. Sorry guys, I'm going to move this camera a bit higher so you can get a better view. I just realised the view's not the best. The view's not the best. It's not optimal. We don't have an optimal view. Let's get that guy up higher. Let's not drop everything like spanners and what have you. Crap like that. Let's put them back up. Let's see what we've got here. Is that better positioned? Maybe, maybe not. Is it? Oh, everything's falling out. What am I doing? Terry, what am I doing? Am I losing the plot? There we go. something a little bit more, a little better now. See if we can see what's going on there. Let's flick that back. No one knows. No, they don't. That's better. No, it's frozen. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. Stop it. Let me fix it. Pitch. Ooh. That's not very good. Get up there. Get in there. Don't do things like that to me. And now it's not working at all. Great. Ooh. Not a good look. Please forgive my stupidity. These cameras are playing up a little bit. Getting a little bit howdy-doody. Let's see what that's like. Okay, we're back. We're back. Up we go into the blue yonder. Up in the air. Up in the sky. How's that? Oh, damn it. Lost it again. This is great viewing, isn't it? Fantastic viewing. Man. Man, oh man. That's all I can say. Okay. So, now you can see a little bit better. A little bit higher. But you can see what I'm doing. There's the body. Let's just extend the center line off the edge so I can see. We know that one there. So essentially what we want to do is line up as much as we can with this guy. We're going to drill this down and actually center this. So I'm going to clamp this for a minute. Down here, that's centered. Let's put a clamp on that, like so. Let's flip that around, line up this center. It is lined up, that's perfectly centered. And we're going to put a hole right there. And we're going to screw down this guy. We're going to screw down this guy. So, let's do that, shall we? Let's do that. Grab our drill, which is right here. Clamp it. We're going to clamp it down. We're going to drill this in. Grab a little doobie whacker, little 1/8 of an inch. Come on, man. Just a little pilot hole. Don't break your drill bit, is the moral of the story. Don't know what's happening there. I think it just slipped. I've lost my grip. That's okay. No, that's fine. All right. pop this away. Let's get some glue out and glue this guy down. Glue it down. Glue it down. Quick, get to the chopper and glue it down. Right. Glue. Be Bumstead. Marky Mark. What is happening? Willie, what is it 4,000 time? Willie, is it time for 4,000? Betty buys. Hilarious. Mark, we have a Birdseye maple cap for this tea style. Let's spread the news. All the way to the edge. A bit more. Pretty good. We're pretty good. Right there. We've got our glue on there. And we're pretty much good to go. Okay. Let me grab a screw. Let's get this cap down. Here's the Birdseye maple that we're going to use. You probably can't see that very well, or maybe you can. Yeah, it's a nice cap. Just let me grab a screw, and then I'll place that in there and get that done. the love of tight bond. Absolutely. It's going to be a beautiful cap. More glue. I think we've got plenty of glue on there. It's a bit dry down here, so I'm hearing you. I'm going to just add a little dollop here and there. I'll give it a bit of extra oomph. It's like you can never have too much icing on top of a cake. Isn't that right, Willie? To the edge. Okay, we're pretty good there. Isn't that right, Willie? Wills, you can never have too much icing on a cake. That's a fact. Absolutely, that's a fact. Okay, let's get this down. Get it down, get it down, get it down, get down on it. We've marked our little buddy. Gotta find where he is. About there. Okay, found him. Nice and tight. Clamp the back up, line it up. There we go. Right there. Centered. Centered. Clamp. Terry, get him going. We got squeeze out. That means it's tight. Let's get the clamps out, Tez. We got squeeze out. Excellent. Excellent. Another big clamp in. We got squeeze out. Excellent. More clamps, Terry. More clamps now. We've got to go hard. Good. Great. Squeeze out. I need to cut these corners. Just cut that down there. Actually reach. We need to cut some more. Of course that battery's gone flat. It never rains, it pours. There's the sander. Okay, this one's out as well. So typically I've left the batteries flat. Am I a doofus, Terry? Am I a doofus? Am I a doofus is the question that I'm asking the audience. The answer is indeed you are a doofus. Okay, there we go. Right. That's good. We've got squeeze out. Yep. Yeah. More clamps. Good. Good. That's all hollow there. That's down. That's good. Turn that over. More clamps. Another one here. Make a notch, feed the clamp in closer, like so. That's good. I'll do the same here. Get them in there. Perfect. Right, more clamps down here. More clamps. More clamps. Clamp notch, yeah, absolutely, mate. It obviously damages the scrap, but I've left a big section in the middle here that I'll use to make my matching cavity cover. So I've got plenty of scrap. But yeah, that notch gets you in closer. And that's why I always cut the shape out so I know where my physical boundary is on the body. Then I can work around that. Makes it a hell of a lot easier, in my opinion. Okay, that's one side done, Terry. We've got clamps galore on one side. Now we've got to get the other side done. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Terry? And then we're going to place it on the ground and put a couple of bricks on it, just to add some weight and downforce on that cap. Make sure that glue is binding as tightly as possible. Let's put some clamps on this side. Okay. That reaches, so that's good. More clamps, Terry. More clamps, Terry. It's there. Cut a notch in here. Out of batteries. Not good. Not good at all. That's okay. We've got enough notches here to do the job. Right, more clamps, Terry. What are you up to, Terry? Get the clamps out, girl. Come on. Yeah. Right, that's on. Nice and tight. More clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start with these. Lordy Lord, what's going on here? Right, there we go. Check the squeeze. We got squeeze. That's very good that there is a good amount of glue coming out. That's what we want. One more in here. And then we're going to cut that off by hand. Actually, I'll do that now. Grab my saw. I'll use the hand saw. Yeah, I'll cross cut that down there. Should have done this earlier, but you know me. Never do things the easy way. Get up there. Come on. Lordy Lord. Come on. Right, done. Whew. Let's get these clamps under here. More clamps, Terry. More clamps. One more on the other side and we're done. Okay, we're done. Let's get this guy down on the ground where it's hard and level, and we'll put some weight on top of that guy. Whoa. It is big, it is heavy. Yeah. Oh. Right, that's down there. Let's grab a couple of bricks. Let's put that piece of, grab a couple of bricks in the middle. One there. Whew. And one there. We're done. Okay. Done. Like a dinner. Special Elvis. What is happening with Special Elvis? Oh, C11. Of course. Oh my God. You remember all the clamp names. There are actually commands for those as well. Great job. Terry, are you happy with that? Ha. Let's have a look. That's it for me for today. I think I'm done. Oh, I've got a little bit of a cold still, so I'm going to go have a little lie down. A nice cup of something warm and lie down. Have some lunch, I guess, and then get on with it in the afternoon. Guys and girls, thank you for being here. I'll be back on Monday, so we're going to continue that on Monday. We got to shape that on Monday, route some stuff, do lots of do lots of stuff, and we'll be able to commercial. What commercial? We've gone to a commercial break, have we? Really? Where is my phone? I've misplaced my phone, guys and girls. I must have left it upstairs. Anyway, that means I can't. It means I can't do anything. Maybe I can. Hang on a sec. Let me see. Let's bring this up. Let's go to Twitch. There we go. I should be able to do it from here. Create a dashboard. Is that the one? Manage stream. That might be it. I'm live, it says here. Okay. Oh, yes, I can do it from here. I will raid. I will raid somebody when I know who they are and what they're doing. Let's have a look here. Who have we got on? Following. Who am I following? Live channels. Jonathan on. Zombie Hedgehog. Zombie Hedgehog. Let's go there. Yeah, I haven't done him for a little while. Zombie Hedgehog. So, raid. Exclamation. Oh no, it's slash. Raid. Zombie Hedgehog. Excellent. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, folks, I'm out. Thank you very much for being here. See you on Monday. Be good.